I'm going to explain reactivity, and I'm going to demonstrate on reactivity on a few targets here. So a lot of people are misunderstanding what reactivity does and how it affects the depth of targets. A lot of people say, oh, drop your reactivity down, you're going to be able to go deeper. That is not the case in my soil, and that is not the case if you're around any iron or foil or targets on their edge. It really struggles with a low reactivity. And so I have minerals in my ground here, and minerals are just like iron, they're just like foil, they're something that masks targets. So you want a faster reactivity, you want a higher reactivity for unmasking targets. And if I tried to use like 2 reactivity in my soil, I would find pretty much nothing, no matter how fast or slow I swung, because the detector just cannot process those minerals in the ground here. I have red clay, highly mineralized clay here, and I'll show you there's a lot of iron around this area here, and there is a masked target here. And I'm going to switch between a pitch program and a full tones program. The full tones program is a mono program, a single frequency program, 32 kilohertz, and the multi-frequency is a mid-range multi-frequency pitch program. And I'm gonna just adjust my reactivity up and down, and I'll show you what happens to this target if I go with a lower reactivity. Okay, this is the full tones mono program here. Now listen to all the rejected targets. I'm discriminating to 44 here, okay? Big iron here. Big iron. Big iron there. That's obviously a large piece of iron there. Some foil, some minerals here. Listen to it. Just minerals. Big iron here. See, right here is a huge piece of iron, and right here is a coin-sized target. And it sounds like a coin. 3 reactivity here. Okay, I'll go to 2.5 reactivity. Even swing slow. Just hitting it tiny little bit, but I don't swing this slow. When I'm metal detecting, I'm not swinging this slow. In reality, I'm swinging like this. At least like this, right? And I would not hit that target. Here's 2 reactivity. Now watch what happens when I go up to 4 here. Here's 5 reactivity. See, right here's a prime example how a lower reactivity, you're gonna miss targets. I'm gonna go to pitch program here. This is a multi-frequency, and I'm just gonna, this is 3 reactivity. Actually, that's a slower reactivity. Here's a 3 reactivity of that same target here. You can hear all the big iron. The minerals. Big iron. See, I'm standing right on this target is surrounded by big iron, okay? Now I'll go to 2.5 here. Almost skips over it. Here's 2. Just can't do it. I'll go to 4 here. 4 reactivity, okay? Maybe if you have clean ground and you're trying to go super, super deep, you may be able to go deeper by dropping your activity down. But in reality, you have to swing really slow to get those deep targets. See? See that? There's a coin ball right here. Right here. Right there, on this edge. On this edge. See it? Right there. On this edge. Around all that iron. See that? I don't know what it is. It's just a coin. Kind of feels like a crunchy zinc penny. But still, that's a very good demonstration. Now I'll show you a depth test. I'll try to go find a target, a deeper target here. That plug didn't go back in there very good. See, right there. Slower reactivity will miss targets if you're in around any iron. Right. Okay, I'm gonna go to full tones here again. Mono program. See if I can find a deeper target here, a really deep target. Hopefully I can find a deeper target here. That's not a good target, that's iron. Let's extend it out here just a little bit here. Hope I can find one. Something very large there. I will not be digging that out. That's a pipe, right? See? Let's go along this pipe here. There's a couple right there. On that pipe, there's a couple right there, I can tell. Just experience, you know, I've dug up those couplers before, and all it takes is a couple times digging those couplers, and you know not to dig those up again because they're really deep. All right? But it is very good to go along this way, find targets that other people have missed, or that I've missed. This isn't a very deep target. I think this is a sprinkler head. I'm gonna see if it is a sprinkler head. Yeah, that's a sprinkler head. It sounded like a sprinkler head, and it kind of looked like a sunken hole there. Listen to that. Just a whisper. Listen to this target. Very deep target. Okay. Go to the reactivity here. I'm at reactivity 5 here, so I probably lose a little bit of depth if I go up that high. Here's 4. Yeah, it's a lot stronger. Here's 3. Right. Here's 2.5. Look at how it sounded really junky now. Here's 2. Here's 2. It just turned to iron, right? That target just turned to iron at 2. Okay. Actually, I'll go back up to 3 here. Okay. And now I'll go to pitch program here. Pitch tones. That's reactivity 4 here. Here's 5. I'm starting to get some EMI here. That's the reality of that's the reality of multi-frequency. You're gonna have to tune it quite a bit. You have to keep it tuned. Here's 4 reactivity. Here's 3 reactivity. Here's 2.5. Oh, starting to lose it there. Here's 2. It's gone, right? So I'll go back up to a reasonable level here. 3 reactivity. 3 reactivity. Kind of sounds junky, but it's a deep one. It could be on its edge. Most likely it's a coin on its edge. Right there. It's deep. Sounds really junky now. It's bumping a lot. Go very easy with this target here. Could be something very awesome. See, that soil's hot here, see? It's iron. It's a washer. Iron. That's what you get when you're trying to go deep. Right. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. Little piece of iron there. Just iron. Right there. Just like I said, it sounded junky. Especially in pitch. I can really hear those iron tones in pitch. Right there, I'll try another one here. Junk, iron. I have the same discrimination in both these programs. I'm going to try full tones here again. Just getting too much EMI in the multi-frequency program here. It's a lot more stable in mono. This one sounds interesting. It's a round piece of iron here. I'm going to try this one here. I'm going to try this one. Just sounds really irony, but I'm just interested. A lot of stuff interests me that doesn't interest other people. But this is my video, so I can do what the hell I want. You know what I'm saying? Big old piece of iron right here. Oh, it's a washer. It's a washer right there. I thought it was a horseshoe. Sounded round. Right there. What's on top of it? What do we have on top of it? Is there a coin ball up here? Oh, come on, bring it to Paystreak right here. Coin. There's a coin right there on top of iron. See that? Who shows you this on YouTube except for me? I don't really know because I don't really watch a lot of YouTube, but I think that's amazing, you know. The performance of these newer detectors is just crazy. It's advanced a lot in the last few years. Just in the last 10 years, it's advanced a lot. You know, I never used to find stuff like that. Never used to find stuff. I used to find a lot of iron with the older detectors, with the analog detectors. But it's really about the tones, you know, the full tones really gives you that just broad range of just information. Some people don't like the full tones because it's just too much for them to comprehend. But I'm one with full tones, man. Really, I am. That was pretty freaking amazing, I would say. Another one right here. Right here. Big iron here. This is this. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop my reactivity down here. Here's 3 reactivity here. Here's 2.5. Here's 2. Here's 1.5. Here's 5 reactivity here. Still smashes it with this fast swing speed. I'll go to 3, a reasonable level right in the center. I found that 3, this plug is going to be kind of ugly because I dug 2 holes right next to each other. It's not going to be a pretty sight here. This isn't very deep anyway, it's right in the plug right there. Oh, I was on the side here. I was off a little bit on this target here. Right in the sidewall right there. There. Another coin. Or a ring. That would be pretty epic. Oh. Right there, coin. Another coin. See that? And another one. Right down here. Or some iron. Deeper one. I think this is some iron here. Yeah, it's a nail. See the nail? Oh. See? Iron. Pinpoint that again there. Just hot soil. Just some mineralized ground there. right? The deeper I dig, and the smaller hole that I dig, the deeper I dig, the pinpointer just wants to really hit the minerals. This pinpointer is really deep, and it really it detects the minerals in the ground too. Right there. Shall we do another one? This is junky target. That is junky target. Okay. That is a junky one. My battery's just about ready to die here. This sounds like iron. Oh, right, another plug I just dug too. Screamer. I think this one sounded iffy because I just dug another plug. Yeah, I dug another plug right next to it. A lot of times the tones are really iffy if I dig a plug. It stirs up the minerals, right? Another coin, crunchy zinc, right there. That one goes right in the garbage. So I dug another plug right there too. So right here I dug a few holes. So it was a coin spill. See that? Stomp it really good. Thank you for watching.